Phil, I want to ask you, though, is an opportunity being missed here to decouple some of the issues in this discussion, to talk separately about whether posting the photo was right or wrong from an elected representative, and then also discussing separately the rules of the Maine Principals Association?
Yeah, it absolutely should be decoupled. And I think what you've said is worth repeating, and that is it was an association that developed these regulations. It wasn't legislation that was signed by the governor that put us in this conversation. It was a small group of people who say, we're gonna sponsor these athletic events, and we've decided to interpret who can participate in this way. Well, if we don't like it, we the people, as Pat has suggested, there's a legislature in session.
What's the likelihood that the MPA might reconsider their ruling on this?
I don't know. I suspect. Ethan, what do you think? Because I don't know the answer.
I certainly hope they don't. And Phil, that's totally wrong. Look, the Maine Human Rights Act is the Maine Human Rights Act. And we, the people, passed a law that protected people based on gender discrimination. We, the people, passed that in 2005. So this is something absolutely that's in law, and the legislature passed laws that we, the people, put them there to protect transgender students, to make sure that they have the resources they need and they're not discriminated against. So the Maine Principals Association is merely looking at those, like all associations do, looking at state law and saying, okay, we want to make sure that we comply with state law. And this is what they put in place. And nobody challenged that. And nobody said, no court told them that they shouldn't do that anymore. So let's be clear. I disagree with you also. I think the legislature is strongly in support of transgender non-discrimination, of all students being able to participate in the sports that are associated with their gender. So I don't think that there would be bipartisan support to overturn this. And Donald Trump is just trying to force the state to do something that our elected representatives have said, no, we won't do.
Ethan, we're running out of time here before we do need to go to our break, but quickly I want to get your thoughts before we move forward here. The White House announcing 2 federal investigations here under Title IX. How significant are those investigations and the federal government, the White House, taking those next steps as we show you here the details of those?
It's very significant. I think they will lose in court, but it's very significant to try to use the government to force states like this to go against what actually has been put in place by federal law. So it's not significant in the sense I don't think they'll win, but it is significant that we now have a president who's trying to arm his education department to try to force states to do something that would go against the laws of that state.